today we're here with Brother Dynast Amir in front of this wonderful painting.
It's Queen of Sheba. Queen of Sheba.
Queen of Sheba.
Or Makeda from Ethiopia.
I got to get me one of those. I got to get me something in my house because I mean that's beautiful. Because I'm looking at a lot of your artwork, and I'm slipping hard. Yeah. So in Atlanta, man, this is our first time coming to Atlanta, right? And beautiful city. I love to see a lot of black people doing well for themselves here. What makes Atlanta a lot different than maybe some other cities in relation to black people?
I would say there's more black ownership in areas of just business, homes, more black wealth. Black people are more involved in government, even though that's starting to change a little bit. It's more black faces managing a white power system. So that's pretty much going on here. But still, I mean, positions of what you want to see as far as black communities, home ownership, business ownership, those two areas, black people are doing pretty well here in Atlanta. There is a lot of dysfunctional stuff going on in Atlanta, but, for the most part, there still are a lot of black people who have some sense and are doing pretty well. So
in Atlanta, is there a lot of job opportunities is why it's happening, or is it just a mentality, a culture? Like, where is it?
It's a ton of job opportunities. I mean, Atlanta is Hollywood of the South now. I mean, outside of LA, Atlanta is like number 2 as far as film production. So you have studios popping up everywhere. Unfortunately, you have gentrification. So with that, I mean, there are job opportunities, but at the same time, black people are being displaced. Atlanta's growing. I mean, you see the airport. I mean, you guys flew into the airport's a city. You know what I mean?
So yeah, it is. It's bigger than Bush over there in Houston. Well, I saw it. I said, "Whoa, it's bigger than Bush."
Yeah, and I mean, it's expanding. I mean, it's still growing. I mean, Atlanta, because I mean, as places like LA, New York, as they get more expensive, people are starting to come move down to Atlanta, and Atlanta's starting to get expensive. Back in the day, Atlanta was cheap. But now, I mean, it's pretty expensive. But again, it's just everything's starting to shift to Atlanta now because of the opportunities and just the cost of living in places like New York and LA are now so high. So
one thing I noticed, outside of us being successful, and we know in this system of racism, white supremacy,
right,
these white supremacists don't like to see black success,
right. And
so when they see black people successful, we kind of notice, little looks, little stares, that dumb. Trying to figure out what you got going on. Yeah. Listening to your conversations, that weirdo crap that they do.
Right.
How do you guys deal with that here? Because I noticed that here more than Houston. Because Houston is like, people successful in Houston too. But you don't see people just kind of just looking at you constantly.
I would say this. I mean, did you see that at the airport or?
No. Like the hotel and just
in Buckhead.
Areas.
Okay. Yeah. It's just it depends on the area you're in. I mean, you just you brush it off. I mean, since I left corporate America, I really don't come into a contact with a lot of white people since I left corporate America. And it's funny, like when I go to Africa. And when I come back, like, and flying into the U.S. and at the airport, it's just like a culture shock now when I see so much white people at the airport. But I mean, you just brush it off and keep it moving. And success is people get jealous of it, and just continue to be successful and build. And I mean, those looks it's going to continue to happen. So you just got to keep it pushing.
Oh yeah. You can't stop people looking, but obviously they call you out. That's how.
Right.
You never keep looking at me too long.
Right, exactly. But I say, you got a problem. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, like you want to ask me a question.
Right. Well, like I said, I just keep it pushing. So they look at me. I'm so focused that I just keep it moving. So
you say that you go into Africa so much now. They say you get around them, it's culture.
It's weird because again, since I'm no longer in corporate America. And the area of the West End, even though it's gentrifying, I mean, it's still a predominantly black neighborhood. I mean, I'm in Atlanta. Atlanta's still predominantly black. So, like, literally, when I go to Africa and, and I'm at the airport, usually on the plane, unless I'm going to, if I'm flying South African Airways, sometimes there's a lot of white passengers on the plane. But outside of that, I don't come into contact with a lot of white people now since I'm no longer in corporate America. So it's just, like I said, it's a culture shock. When I come back from Africa, all those black faces, the plane is all black. And then once I get to the U.S. To catch my flight back to Atlanta, then it just hits me like, hey, there's a lot of white people.
Yeah, man. I know what you're talking about. When I went to Ethiopia and everything,
Right.
just you just seeing black, 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 and you come
Right.
back and like a little different.
Right. Exactly.
But on your YouTube channel,
Uh huh.
it's to search for Uhuru, right?
Right.
You part of the live stream gang, live
Yeah.
stream king. How many live streams are you doing a day now?
Whenever it's just something, a topic I think is important that I need to cover, I go live, because, I like to share my thoughts with everybody. I have a pretty strong opinion. A lot of people, they get offended sometimes. So, but I like to share my thoughts and, I like to have an open conversation. So, if I have an idea, I'm streaming. So at least twice a day at the least, you know.
Did the feminists in our community get mad at you about that terminology you're using called bottom shelf Brad?
Well, what they'll do, they'll deflect and say, well, black men ain't worth a damn, so who are you to call out bottom shelf Brad? They've been doing that. They've been deflecting. But they haven't denying that there's a bottom shelf Brad issue. They haven't denied it yet. But they'll deflect and put it back on black men as if it's our fault that they have to go for bottom shelf Brad or settle for bottom shelf Brad. So that's what's going on now.
That's social media is funny because in real life nobody cares about what you got going on,
Right.
and people on social media really think that that's how the world works.
Right.
It's not like that. It's quite funny. So, brother Dynast, let everybody know how to get to your channel. Let them know they subscribe, follow you, everything you invented.
Search for Uhuru. Search for Uhuru. Uhuru is spelled Uhuru, and it's all one phrase. Search for Uhuru on YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook. Like, subscribe, follow, message me. I message back. So yeah, that's how you get in contact with me.